Very excited to bring a special guest into the show, Jeremy Piven.
Yes, been a Bears fan my whole life, and every year we want them to get better, and I think they got some great pieces.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, we say it every year. This is the time for hope, but we'll see when the season comes around if they're breaking hearts again.
Well, thanks for stopping by. I know you got a big
Absolutely.
show coming up next Friday, June 6th.
I don't want to talk about that, bro. I want to unpack the Bears because you guys never talk about the Bears.
No, that's all we do.
Let's talk more about the Bears. Oh, wait, shit. Sorry, brother. You're right. I do have a show with the Vic. Saturday night, the 6th. Yes, 2 shows. We just added a second show, and we are going. Listen, one of my favorite bits in my show is talking about playing for the Evanston Wildcats and being one of the only white boys on the team. What that was like. People don't realize that, Chicago is an amazing town, an amazing sports town, but also Evanston, people give me shit. Can we swear on this show?
Yes, we can. Go ahead.
Okay, beautiful.
Great job.
So, thank you so
Keep
much.
going.
I love it. So, Evanston is one of the few integrated communities in the world, really. And so growing up in that community and living amongst other cultures, that part of what I think racism is when you don't know about someone else's culture, but I was immersed in it and so lucky. And we every year we're competitive, and I was ultimately there are no 5'9" Jewish linebackers in the NFL, so I had to end my dreams and continue acting.
The fact that you didn't realize that you should have been a kicker at that age, and I mean, it worked out okay for you though.
My jersey number said linebacker, and my body said kicker, and I didn't understand that.
You could have been Cairo, man.
You know what? I'm the exact same size as Julian Edelman. So the reality is there are a lot of undersized Jews out there who have overachieved.
Well,
see, I grew up thinking I was going to be the next Steve Kerr, and that didn't work out for me either.
You're too thick for Kerr.
Well, I wasn't thick back then, but now I've caught the Taco Bell caught up to me.
Yeah.
That's a good diet.
Just for the record, my first ever girlfriend went to Evanston High School. It was like, and I mean, it happened a couple of weeks ago, but it was great. She had.
You're a late bloomer. I love it.
Right. She had Jordan posters on the wall.
I love it.
Like, I mean, for these first experiences in life, can you imagine? Like, you're finding out how great life really is, and then you get to see Michael afterwards. I mean, think about the greatness of Evanston is my whole point here. Like that doesn't happen.
You were intimidated by MJ on the wall?
No, I loved it. I was
okay.
It got me to the next level.
Yeah, probably all the blood rushed to your power source, and then you started questioning everything. Like, why am I staring MJ in the eyes as she's reverse cowgirl, and it's all awkward and beautiful all at the same time.
We've hit a new level. That's why I brought it up. That's amazing. Did you talk to Jim McMahon on your was your
How You Live in J Piven?
Yeah,
he's just a fascinating character to me. He's one of these guys who, there aren't a lot of guys like him anymore. He just was this kind of maverick gunslinging guy that was true to himself, and I grew up watching him and Walter play, and that's one of the reasons why people don't. I think they don't understand that, like, when you have a team and you grow up watching them, you share those moments with your father and you're tied in with them intrinsically, and you can't support another team. There's no way. So you got guys like McMahon who, he was undersized and probably, if they were to look at his combine stuff, he wouldn't impress anyone. But there's certain variables, some certain intangibles, like, the confidence that he had. You can imagine him just saying, just go deep and I'll whip it to you. Let's go, guys.
Right.
Totally hungover in the huddle, and he made it happen. And, there were guys on the offensive line that were built like Taco Bell over here. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like Reeve Sori. You're like, Reeve Sori, like,
great name.
Walter didn't, yeah.
We're in the thick of it right now. This is my generation, so it's really, the show's finally turned to where I needed to be.
You had offensive linemen that were, didn't look like athletes, and yet Walter was breaking all records, 275 yards a game, 2,000 yards per season. And any running back that I talk to, when I say who's your favorite, who's the best running back of all time, they all say Walter. Every one of them.
Yeah, I grew up a little bit north of you, and the Bears back in the early 80s, they lived across from Burton Park in Ravinia. They had these small houses there, and McMahon was like throwing passes to Ken Marjoram and Jeff Fisher, and like you realize like a 10-year-old, and like they're the Bears. And then I think, at least for me, the greatest play in Bears history was Thursday night against the Minnesota Vikings, where McMahon is he had like a lacerated kidney or something crazy where he didn't practice all week. And Ditka's rules, you can't play if you don't practice, and they're losing the game. He's in his ear all game long. Put me in there. The Vikings send the all-out blitz. Walter Payton makes the greatest block ever. And he throws a bomb to Willie Gault, and there's 2 more touchdowns after that. The Bears were so freaking good. It's like one day we'll have that again. But literally was the pinnacle.
You never know. We're optimistic. Caleb now has a great coach, and they put some great pieces around him, and we'll see what he can do. It's going to be exciting.